So what do you get by being 2 weeks in quarantine? Well, you get the chance to play your backlog. Greetings gamers, my name is Johnny Retro and welcome back to another episode of Retro Raider. That's right, today I'm going to share with you guys the recent games that I've been playing lately. Yeah, my voice is still a little bit messed up, but just bear with me. Yeah, if you watched my previous video, you already know, yeah, I got COVID. I'm feeling much better now. I still have, this weird voice. I'm still a little bit affected, in the nose area, so to speak. But yeah, I already got dispatched from the doctor. But, the previous 2 weeks, I've been here in my home, my place, playing video games, and it was very good in the sense that I got the chance to beat a couple of games on my backlog. And by the way, guys, if this is your first time here on the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss a thing. Okay, I'm excited, so let's take a closer look at the games that I've been playing recently right after this. Okay, the first one. This is a game in which I did an unboxing of this awesome collector's edition. And this is a game for the PlayStation 5 called Spirit of the North, right here. Now here's the deal about this game and this specific version for the PlayStation 5, because this is not a brand new release. This game was actually released back in 2019, I believe, but I just had to go with this version right here for the PlayStation 5. First of all, because, this collector's edition was the very first physical collector's edition for the PlayStation 5. I mean, I believe that for every company out there, and this is by Signature Edition Games, and this version has, a couple of enhancements, a 4K upscaling, 60 FPS, the whole thing. Now, about the actual game, here's the deal. First of all, this is not a game for everybody. Let me warn you guys, this is not a game for every taste out there. I'll compare this game with the same approach as games as, Shadow of the Colossus, The Last Guardian, Journey, maybe. It's a very slow-paced game. It's not just about, the actual gameplay or the, the story. It's more about the experience. It combines a lot of different elements. Of course, that the graphics look beautiful on the PlayStation 5, so it's a very beautiful game to look at. The gameplay is fine. It's not perfect, but it is fine. But it's also a combination of, the visuals, the environment, the surroundings, the movement, the music, which is beautiful. I just loved the music of this game. And fortunately, this collector's edition came with the CD, with the soundtrack. This game kind of combines, exploration with a little bit of platforming. You play with this fox. Actually, you play with two foxes because you have one in the physical world and another fox, which is in the spiritual world, so to speak. And you navigate through this ancient civilization, which is inspired in Iceland, actually. And this area, this Imaginarium is corrupted, and you pretty much need to clean everything, if you will. Pretty basic, pretty straightforward, but here is the deal. If this is your type of game, if you like these, relaxing experiences, this game, in my opinion, is a must-play. And I'm not a completionist. I am not a completionist, I'm not a trophy hunter. As a matter of fact, I never had a platinum trophy. I just left behind those old days where I used to complete everything, in the GTA games, the older GTA games. And I used to grab every summons, on Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 8. Yeah, those days are gone, I just don't have the time and patience for it. But let me tell you, I completed everything. I got the platinum trophy in Spirit of the North. This game is divided by chapters, and first I did, a straightforward run of the game, but then I went back to each individual chapter, and I just got every trophy. I did everything that you can do with this game. My thoughts, well, me personally, I love the game, but this is a type of game that I identify with. Again, it is not for everybody, so forget about it. If you don't like games like Journey, again, like Last Guardian, it is not the game for you. But I can't stress this enough. If you like those relaxing experiences with video games, the combination with the visuals, the surroundings, the soundtrack, the music, the environment, give it a try. And if you pick this game, just finish it. Just go all out and 100% complete the game, because it is very, very satisfying. And if you guys want to check out an unboxing of this awesome collector's edition, I will leave a link of the unboxing video down below for you guys to check it out. Okay, next. these two games I don't own physically. I played it digitally on my PlayStation 5. When I got my PlayStation 5, I reactivated my PS Plus. So I got a bunch of games, you know, like, I don't know, I believe it was 20-ish PlayStation 4 games with updates for the PlayStation 5. I think that I've played half of those games and I skipped the other half, so I've been trying to get, you know, on my feet and play a couple of games that are kind of a sin for me, in the sense that I never played it. First one, you guys are going to hate me for this. I never played a God of War game. Never. Not even on the PlayStation 2. And you might be wondering, well, Johnny, but I mean, you're a PlayStation guy. You grew up with the PlayStation. You love the PlayStation. The PlayStation 2 is your favorite video game system ever. It is true, but I really don't have an explanation in why I never played God of War. I never played God of War because I never played God of War. It's as simple as that. However, one of the free games that I got with the PlayStation Plus on the PlayStation 5 was God of War for the PlayStation 4. And I was a little bit worried in jumping into this game, but I've talked with a lot of friends that are huge God of War fans, and they told me that, well, it is not the same thing if you play the previous ones, but you can play this one without playing the rest of the series. So I did, and I played God of War. I played the whole game. My thoughts on the game. And keep in mind, this was my first experience with a God of War game ever. Did I enjoy the game? I did. I did enjoy the game. Graphics? Beautiful. I mean, it's just a beautiful game to look at. It's a Game of the Year game. What can I really say? It's amazing. The story for me was the best part. I got very much into the story, into the relationship between Kratos and his son, and I enjoyed the story so much that after beating the game, I went back and I watched, you know, YouTube videos on, you know, summarizing the story that I missed with the previous games. I'm not going to give any spoilers if by any chance there's a couple of you that didn't play the game like I did. The ending of God of War, I mean, one of the best endings ever. I love the action of the game, I love the boss fights, I love, you know, the whole imaginarium of the game. I mean, I love Nordic mythology, so I would say that it is my cup of tea. The voice acting, hands down, one of the best voice actings ever in a video game. Now, with all of that being said, I'm going to be 100% honest here. Did I got super excited with the upcoming God of War Ragnarok? I did, but I don't think it is a game that I'm going to pick, you know, day one. Will I play it? Well, eventually, but again, not day one. Actually, I think that I got more excited about going back and play the previous God of War games, especially the ones on the PlayStation 2. But even though I love the game, I wouldn't say that it is the type of game that I gravitate towards. I mean, something about the gameplay, and specifically the controllers, it's not that it's bad, it's just that it is not my cup of tea. Again, I love the lore, I love the story, I love the characters. The gameplay, though, more or less. But I did it! I finally played a God of War game. The other game, well, a huge flaw for my part. And I also got it on PlayStation Plus. I loved the Uncharted trilogy. Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Which I played for the first time last year, I'm not kidding. But I played, you know, the whole thing, the whole trilogy in like a span of 2 weeks, more or less. Love it. Absolutely love it. A masterpiece of a trilogy. Now, I finally played Uncharted 4. What I think about Uncharted 4 compared to the trilogy? Not my favorite, but again, it's an Uncharted game. It is a hell of a game. Not my least favorite in the main 4 games, but it was not my favorite. I think that my favorite, I'm still going with Uncharted 2. That game is just amazing. Uncharted 4, well, I would say that the first part of the game, it was kind of boring for me. And again, I'm not going to give you guys any spoilers, but in the middle of the game, I believe this was around chapter 8 or 9, when we reached the island, I mean, that was just awesome. I love pirate-themed games, and I mean, this pirate island, I mean, what an adventure. This is what adventure games are all about. Finished the game, loved the game, great Uncharted game. Again, no spoilers. About the characters, well, I really love the fact that they opened, you know, the relationship between Nathan and Elena much more. Sully, I mean, Sully hands down, it's my favorite character. Sam, however, can't say that I enjoy the guy. I don't know, just, it's a good character, I just didn't like the character, I guess. And one thing that I like about these type of adventure games, and I think that Tomb Raider, especially the original Tomb Raider, captured this feeling much better, which is, this sense of isolation, being isolated on an uncharted area, if you will. But on the Uncharted series, especially in Uncharted 4, we always have, the sidekick, Sam or Elena. I prefer to play more solo, so to speak, with Nathan. It's good for the humor, and I do get the gameplay. But yeah, these are just, minor complaints that I have. Nevertheless, I finally finished the Uncharted, the main games, and fingers crossed for an upcoming Uncharted 5. I don't know if we're going to get it or not, but let's hope so. Now, one last game that I want to share with you guys, a retro game. Now, this is that eternal question when you collect video games, when you start to get, a bigger collection. Do I play everything in my collection? Well, I try to. Some games I own more for the nostalgia, and you guys know, these days I tend to go more towards emulation, especially on the mini consoles. But yeah, I do play my original hardware. I do play my original games on the original consoles. But here's the thing. Most of the games on my collection, I play in a casual mode, if you will. That happens a lot, for example, Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage is one of my favorite video games series of all time. Once a year, I beat the whole trilogy. Now, quadrilogy, because we also have Streets of Rage 4. Platform games, sometimes I have a craving for, classic Sonic, I pop it in. Maybe I finish the game, maybe I not, but I do play them. And there is no better casual game for me than a fighting game. Honestly, I don't play fighting games online. I like to play fighting games, on the couch with friends, if I have friends over. But often I like to play, just single player. And there's this one game, I don't think that I ever shown this game on my channel. For the Super Nintendo, Turtles Tournament Fighters. Now, this is not a Super Nintendo exclusive, you also got this game for the NES and Sega Mega Drive. Although those versions are different, we can say that they're different games, pretty much like, Hyperstone Heist. You have Turtles in Time, then you have Hyperstone Heist. Different games. The other ones I only played on emulation. For me, this one is the best. In terms of graphics, I think that this one looks better compared to Turtles in Time, and I'm talking about the Super Nintendo version, not the arcade version, of course. The graphics are just beautiful, pixel perfect. The gameplay and the controllers are very tight, very good. Not Street Fighter good, again in my opinion, but pretty good. It's just a very good looking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting game. It combines a lot of characters from the Turtles universe. I believe that this version has more characters than the other ones, the one on the NES and the Mega Drive. But the problem with this game, and here's the deal, I am not, an expert fighter, when it comes to fighting games, 2D fighting games, but I'm average, I would say. This game, though, this is a hard game. This is a very hard game. Yeah, I'm talking about Mortal Kombat 2 hard. It is a tough game. And sometimes this game gets a bad rap for that. But I mean, if you're persistent, it turns out that it can become a very good fighting game and a very fun fighting game. So yeah, it's one of those games where from time to time, I just went back to and just tried to beat it. Maybe not just, trying to beat it, but try to getting better at it. And fun fact, I do have a ROM of this game on my Super Nintendo Classic, but I played this game lately, or recently, on my original Super Nintendo. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's about playing the original cards on an original Super Nintendo with an original Super Nintendo controller, one of the best controllers ever made, hands down, on an original, or old school, CRT TV. So here's my suggestion, guys. If you like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe, if you like classic 2D fighting games, just, pick a cartridge of this game. Just pop it in on your Super Nintendo and just go with it. Again, keep in mind, this is a very hard game, but yeah, if you're a Turtles fan, it's a great game. And there you go, guys. These were the games that I've been playing and finishing recently. And let me know about yours. Let me know what recent games have you been playing. Let me know how you guys organize your gameplay time. And also let me know if you're a completionist. What recent games did you 100% complete lately? So let me know down below. Guys, I really hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I mean, if you have the extra time and patience, feel free to follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to put a like on this video, please subscribe to the channel, and take care of yourselves, take care of the gaming community, and game a lot.